This is the Barry Richards Show. WBSM On Demand.
App.
Without further ado,
WBSM presents The Barry Richards Show. Streaming live on WBSM.com and the WBSM app. Call 508-996-0500. Text us using App Chat on the WBSM app. Now, The Barry Richards Show.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Friday night I crashed your party. Saturday I said I'm sorry. Sunday came and trashed you out again. I was only having fun, wasn't hurting anyone, and we all enjoyed the weekend for a change. I was stranded in the compound.
All right, welcome back into the program. 8 minutes after 2 o'clock now on a Thursday afternoon. Let me just vent a little bit. I've got an issue going on here behind the scenes that is totally frustrating the hell out of me. And, you know, you figure you can try to, you've only got so much time. I've got to be somewhere after work, so I can't deal with this when I get off the air. So I'm trying to deal with it while I'm on the air, which I probably shouldn't be doing. But I'm saying, I got a 6-minute break here for the news. That should be enough time to get a little problem straightened out, right? So for each of the last 2 newscasts, I'm on the phone trying to deal with personal business. Let me tell you what's going on. I mean, this is a problem with our medical system today. Okay, this is a problem with our medical system today. The issue is I got an email. I'm on a number of medications. I'm an old booger like many of you. I'm on a few pills. So I got a message last night, an email message from my subscription medication people, right? The pharmacy that I deal with online. And it said, well, your prescription for yada, yada, yada is up. And we are processing a refill for you. Okay, wonderful. I love that. And so then I checked my bank account this morning, and they deducted the amount of money out. Now, it's a minimal amount of money with the insurance copay and everything. $1.89 for the prescription. So it's not a huge amount of money, but it's in there. They deducted it out of my account. So when I got here today, I'm sitting here doing the show, and I noticed I had an email from the prescription mail-in prescription people. So I looked at it, and it says, "Sorry, but we can't process your prescription because your doctor has not authorized us to fill this. Call your doctor and tell your doctor to give us the authority to fill this." Okay, so during the 1 o'clock news break, I called my doctor's office, and I said, "Look, I got 5 minutes." And so they said, "Look, you're not due for anything. We don't have anything here that you need. You're not due. The particular prescription that they're talking about here appears to be this, although it's got a different milligram amount next to it, and so on and so forth." But she said, "No, we don't have any records here that you're due for anything, and no, we've not received any requests to fill anything." So I said, "Okay, fine." So I just got off the phone during this newscast with the insurance company prescription program. Now, this should have been wrapped up in 2 minutes. Shouldn't have been a problem. But, of course, you get to the phone system, right? Press 1 if you are this. Press 2 if you want to speak Spanish. Press 3 if you are living in a homeless shelter. Press 4. And this goes on and on and on. So a little secret, sometimes you can just go straight to 0 when you get an operator. So I did. And I went through 3 different people. And finally, "Oh, yeah, fine. Oh, yeah, we see the mistake. It's heard. Hold on just a second." Beep. Next thing I know, I'm back into the system. "If you are a doctor, press 1. By this time, the news was ending. So I have no idea how this is all going to be resolved. I'm probably going to have to call them back tomorrow, I guess. I don't know, because I got to do something after I get off the air today. I won't have time to deal with it. So the frustration, being a part of this thing that we call our medical system these days. So for 3 hours, I've been trying to deal with something that it should be fairly routine to take care of a problem. Look, problems happen. I get that. You know, you get the mistakes happen. I don't know how the pharmacy, the online pharmacy, got information that I needed a prescription refill when my doctor said nope, you don't, and nobody's contacted us about it. And then you try to get in touch with the prescription people, and they can't. It's frustrating as hell. Common sense is absent from the world these days, and I'm sure many of you have gone through similar experiences, right? Many of you have gone through similar experiences. This is a segue to a story that was on State House News Service today. There was a hearing on Beacon Hill yesterday about the medical system here in what they call the South Coast of Massachusetts. Demand outpacing capacity across hospital sector. And I wish I had brought this up before Paul called in. Because Paul works for the hospital system locally. But the story says, I'm going to read little bits of it for you. It says, sharp increases in patient demand, pushing hospital capacity to its limits, emerged as a common theme affecting providers as Massachusetts state senators placed a magnifying glass on the state of healthcare in southeastern Massachusetts. Several hospital CEOs said they continue to struggle with tight operating margins, especially among those who serve a higher share of the significant number of publicly insured patients, and face strain trying to serve everyone in need. In some cases, the capacity crunch coincides with or is exacerbated by staffing shortages and hiring challenges, they said. The upheaval at Steward Healthcare that erupted into public view this year has only made the situation more complicated. David McCready, president and CEO of South Coast Health, said the spotlight on Steward and its facilities like St. Anne's Hospital and Fall River spills over to other providers. Now, a lot of the Fall River region patients, South Coast region patients, are very concerned about getting care at St. Anne's. Not that anything has changed there. Nothing dramatic has changed there, McCready told lawmakers. But there's the worry about what's going to happen to Steward and Steward hospitals. It's certainly pushing a lot of patients and some staff to our facilities. And we, just like everyone else, we have no capacity in our emergency rooms. South Coast Health operates Charlton Memorial Hospital in Fall River, St. Luke's Hospital in New Bedford, and Toby Hospital in Wareham. And McCready said its emergency departments are almost always full, like many hospitals across the state. Similar trends are in place at Sturdy Memorial Hospital in Attleboro, where President Amy Brewer said she sees a tremendous need for care. And at Cape Cod Healthcare, where President Michael Loff said in the past year, there hasn't been one day where we have not run less than 100% of our licensed occupancy and medical surgical space. Okay? A pair of Steward hospitals are experiencing limited capacity, too, in the work as part of a for-profit, private, equity-backed system. Heidi Taylor, the president of Steward's Morton Hospital in Taunton, said her facility has been running north of a 100% operating rate for the past 2 years, even after opening a 14-bed surge unit. Over at another Steward facility, Good Samaritan Medical Center in Brockton, President Matthew Hesketh said he's seen a 30% increase in emergency department patient volumes since a fire forced the closure of Brockton Hospital last year. The Senate Post-Audit and Oversight Committee invited healthcare industry leaders to testify about care, affordability, and staffing at hospitals in the southeastern portion of the state, Cape Cod, and the islands. Massachusetts Nurses Association President Katie Murphy said closures and consolidations have curtailed access to care, and she warned that disruptions to Steward's hospitals would further destabilize the system. In 1960, Massachusetts had well over 100 hospitals serving a population of 5.15 million. Today, we have 67 hospitals serving a population of nearly 7 million people, Murphy said. Between 1980 and 2016, Massachusetts lost 31 hospitals. The county health system was eliminated, and 1/3 of the state's healthcare system was privatized or closed. So these are the problems that are facing the medical system, the hospital system in our Commonwealth. And the medical system is in total chaos in our country. Now, I just explained to you the process that I had to go through over the course of 3 hours just to find out why a prescription was being sent to my doctor, or at least to me, and I was forced to pay for it, or they deducted the money out of my bank account, and yet my doctor never even asked for it to be, to be filled, and how that particular prescription wound up into the system. So, and after 3 hours of dealing with people on the telephone, I'm not able to get any answers. And so I can only imagine, that's only a minor pain in the butt. I can imagine some of the problems that many of you have to deal with. And I know a lot of folks have problems at the emergency rooms. You have a problem and you have to go to the emergency room, and the emergency room is full to capacity. I can remember the last couple of times I went to the emergency room for various issues. I'm trying to think, was I a patient? I don't believe I was a patient at any time, but I'd gone there for other people, and, only to find that the emergency room was just totally packed with homeless people sleeping on the floor, people who were going into the emergency room for, hangnails, and so on and so forth. But what are some of the problems that you are experiencing? You heard me complain about my minor little complaint there, $1.89 being taken out of my bank account. What are some of the problems that you've encountered and experienced out there and that you're experiencing now? What are your concerns about this whole Steward thing, and whether the hospital system in the state, and particularly in our region of the state, can survive all of this? Again, the Nurses Association saying that back in 1960, there were over 100 hospitals in Massachusetts with a population of just over 5 million. Here we are today with, what did I say the figure was? 60 hospitals? Yeah, in 1960, Massachusetts had well over 100 hospitals serving a population of 5.15 million. Today we have 67 hospitals serving a population of nearly 7 million people. Just between 1980 and 2016, Massachusetts lost 31 hospitals. The county health system was eliminated, and 1/3 of the state's healthcare system was privatized or closed. How in God's name did things get so complicated and so expensive and so out of control and in so much chaos? 508-996-0500 is the number, and you were first this hour on WBSM. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Oops, I'm sorry. There we go. I got you.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
The worst place to go right now in America is the emergency room. If you can avoid that, that's the worst place you can go. It's funny you say that, but you have a lot of foreign companies that buy out companies in America, but none of them are buying out hospitals.
Okay.
They buy. They come here, they buy land, they buy businesses, they buy supermarkets, they buy this, that, but none of them, because they know it's a problem. And the other thing, too,
well, what is the problem?
Funny.
I mean, how did the problem get to be the problem? It never, back in the day, and I don't know, a lot of times when you say back in the day, people roll their eyes, but I mean, I remember as a kid, we had doctors that came to your house. I don't know, maybe there are too many people for that to do now, but you had a neighborhood doctor and people went to the neighborhood doctor. We didn't have these big HMOs. It's funny. I had an appointment this morning with my doctor out at Hawthorne Medical in Dartmouth, and you go in, it's like a people factory. You just, you know what I mean? You go in, and I'm sure you probably go there in one of the other HMO kind of things.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're in a people factory. And how did our medical system become that?
I think it's just right now it's the influx of migrants coming into this country. This is happening the way it is a lot in big cities. Small towns, I don't think it's as much as small towns, but it's in major cities where you got an influx of people. I went to the emergency room once that was like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And forget about it. Forget about it. It was horrendous. There was people on the aisle They weren't even in that little kiosk. They put you in. You were on the aisle over there.
Yeah.
It was actually before COVID.
It looks like a war zone. You go in there and there are just people on stretchers everywhere in the hallways, in the aisles, and they stay there for hours and hours and hours.
Exactly. You know, it's funny you say that because it's crazy. And then one time, my father, 4 years ago, he had to go to the emergency room, and I said, "You're not going to Bedford." We went to Wareham. Toby Hospital. Is it Toby Hospital in Wareham?
Yeah.
The one in Wareham.
Yeah.
Hardly anybody. It was in and out. It was a day and night at the time. It was like, it was like smooth sailing, actually. I was impressed.
They have a considerably smaller population there, too. So I mean,
correct.
Yeah.
I drove all the way down there just for that reason because I didn't want to, because I knew how New Bedford was. It's everybody goes to the hospital. Everybody goes to the emergency room for a hangnail. They'll go to the emergency room. They don't care. If they don't have to pay the bills, they don't care.
Well, a lot of times, they don't have insurance, and the hospitals can't turn you away. So, they go there for every little thing. And boy, I'll tell you, when you're not paying for it, you go in for more, procedures than if you were paying for them. That's for sure. Thank you, my friend. Let me hold you there. I want to grab the next one. 508-996-0500 is the number. And let's see. I think you were next in WBSM. Thanks for waiting.
Hello, is this Barry Richard?
Yes, it is. How are you?
This is your doctor's office. We got pills ready for you, the blue pills.
Yeah, and you're going to charge me another $80.89, right?
Yeah, we're going to charge you. We're going to charge you more because you're a Republican and a MAGA supporter. Barry, I'm calling because I live in Ward 1 by Satsquin Pond, and I called Leo Choquette's office. And I congratulate him for not backing down and not going through that thing that they did yesterday. But the more and more I look into this, Linda Morad, she's nothing but a bully. And this is my opinion because of how she conducts herself over the years with meetings and people shutting people down and not letting people talk because she has an agenda, and if they don't agree with her agenda, she shuts you down. So as these counselors go into these meetings, like I told Chris earlier, there's no pandemic going on, so there should be no meetings on Facebook. This should be done by face-to-face. This should be done where people can attend, and if they need to speak out, they should be. Not on Facebook, where nobody can get on, and a lot of the people part of Bedford are not like computer savvy. They might not even have a computer, but they might be able to go down there and listen to the meeting,
my understanding of the way this thing works is that when the city council just spent a huge amount of money to put new cameras and all kinds of new things and a whole new system into the city council chambers so that the meetings can be broadcast on the website. Okay, broadcast live on the website. Now, when they meet on Zoom, they can't use that system. It has to go through their Facebook page. And so that's the problem. If they were meeting in council chambers, yeah, then the meeting would have been you would have been able to see the meeting. But because it's on a Zoom, it goes only on Facebook.
You'll get that. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. But still, computers, they put those computers up for what? So they can have more meetings like that, and they can shut down somebody's microphone, which is that. So she has more control when they're on Zoom because she can just tell the other people to shut somebody's microphone off if she doesn't agree with them.
Yeah, so and she can't do that in person.
No. So I still don't agree with the format of the meetings because I don't care how much money they spend on the cameras. They should spend more money on stuff that they need to spend on.
Why are these people not showing up for meetings? Why have they got to have a meeting on Zoom? That's the other thing. I mean, you get elected to public office. Okay, fine. We had a pandemic and, everybody did Zoom and all that kind of stuff. But the pandemic's been over for 2 years. So get your butt to City Hall. You've been elected to represent the public at City Hall. City Hall is there for you to have your meetings and so that the people can turn out for these meetings. Get your butt to City Hall and get off of Zoom. The council should not be on Zoom at this point.
No, it shouldn't be. They're just being lazy.
No, and again, they just spent a fortune to upgrade the entire system at City Hall and council chambers so that they can broadcast on the website. And so all that money was for nothing so that Morad can have meetings on Zoom?
But you know what they did with those cameras? They did it so they can have more meetings like this so people can't go down there and voice their opinion face to face because they don't want it. They don't want that interaction with people.
Peons. They don't want the peons. They don't want to look at the peons. And you know what? Linda Morad doesn't have to look at certain people who like to protest at the meetings there. So that's, I think, a part of it there. I got to hold you, Paul. Thank you, my friend. 508-996-0500. We're coming right back after this.
Bad company, and I can't deny. Bad company.
All right, welcome back. 233 is the number. 508-996-0500 is the time. Let me reverse that. No, it is 233 is the time, and 508-996-0500 is the number. And there you have it. Okay, I'm all right. I've got this weird thing going on with me today. I've got, I woke up with a runny nose. Now, I've got sinus issues that my sinuses are always blocked. So when my nose runs, it's out of this world. So I'm not used to this, but my nose is constantly running, and I don't know why. I'm not, generally, I'm not allergic to anything. I guess this is sinus kind of year, hay fever and all that kind of stuff. And I guess that can change at any time. You can always develop allergies to things. I've never had that before, but if that's it, I don't know why. I feel great otherwise, but my nose won't stop running. So I have to keep shutting off the microphone to wipe and blow my nose. So anyway, not that you really care. I just, I'm suffering with it, so I figured I'd make you suffer with it too. 508-996-0500. Ain't that nice? You're up next on WBSM. Thanks for hanging on.
Very Fall River calling. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Fall River, how you doing?
Well, not too bad. I hear your nose is running a lot. Your sinuses must be in good shape, huh?
Remember we used to make crank calls and, you call up, hey, is your nose running? You better run out and catch it before it runs away. Or, Prince Albert in a can.
Your sinuses are in good shape, then they do a lot of running.
Yeah, right.
But, anyway, I want to ask you, you said you spent a few hours trying to clear up that $1.89 issue.
Yeah.
May I ask, how did they even get a hold of your account number, your bank account number?
Well, I have they do my prescriptions. Every 3 months, my prescriptions, they're handled online by the pharmacy. So they send me a 3-month supply. So they have all my banking information. Yeah, so
mine's every 3 months, too. I run by CVS to drive through every 3 months. I give them $10 and I'm done,
Well, this is the CVS, this is the CVS online
okay.
subscription service.
I would just call the bank and just say there was a fraudulent charge that was not authorized by you.
Well, I don't want to screw up my account with them because then I'd have all the prescriptions that I do need. It makes more sense to call them anyway to find out, why are you trying to, why am I supposed to be getting this prescription when my doctor didn't put in so they can get rid of it and make sure all my other prescriptions are okay. I don't want to jeopardize that. Right. But the problem is you go through all of these things and they say, well, let me put you on hold for a second. I'll take care of it. Next thing you know, you're back in the system. Well, if you are Hispanic, push 1. If you are, from Mars, push 2. No. I just want the person I was just speaking to, and that person's gone forever.
Right. No, I get you. I don't like going to CVS. I used to have to go every month, get my cholesterol and blood pressure meds. So then I talked to my doctor, and luckily they changed it so I only have to go once every 3 months. But that being said, I still go in person. I give them cash. I don't have to worry about giving somebody, I don't know, my account number like that, Maybe it's worth just,
well, you know what?
About it and just
my health issue started. My health issue started about 14 years ago. Okay, so I've been on meds for I had a heart attack 14 years ago. I was young when I had it. I was only a little kid. I had this heart attack. Anyway, I had this heart attack, and so then I developed some issues as a result of it. So I've been on very low-dose meds ever since. And when I first started taking the meds, I would go to CVS, and it was costing me like $80 a month for this and everything. And so my wife said, no, through our insurance plan, you can get on this 3-month thing, kind of like you're on. And she said, you can get it through the mail, no problem. So I went through the insurance. They said, yep, I have not had a problem in 14 years. Everything
Is it cheaper doing it that way?
Well, it cost me a grand total of maybe $20 every 3 months for my pills. So,
right. I know, like my cell phone bill, if you do automatic payments, they automatically take it out every month.
Yeah.
And you save like $10 a month on T-Mobile just because it's automatically withdrawn.
Sure.
It adds up over month after month after month.
I don't know what insurance carrier you have. We've got Blue Cross. My wife works for the city, and she works. That's the policy that I'm on. So it's every 3 months, and it's only a pittance for my prescriptions. I'm not complaining about anything. So far, so good. Everything's been wonderful. Until last night, I got this thing, and then they're like, well, we're trying to fill this prescription for you, but your doctor won't. My doctor said, well, we didn't, it's not one of your prescriptions, so we wouldn't have. But they charged me for it. So and it's $1.89. I feel, I sound like Ebenezer Scrooge here, but I mean, it's just the fact that they're
principle.
What's that?
It's principle.
Well, it's not only its principle, but I mean, they're charging my account for something that wasn't ordered, that I don't need. And I don't want to receive. So that's the part of it. I'll eat the $1.89. Just don't send me any pills or tell me that I need these pills, because I don't,
Yeah, I gotcha. I hope you work it out, Barry.
Thank you, my friend. I will eventually. There's no doubt about that. But, these things take time sometimes. 3 hours to try to get that straightened out, and it's still not straightened out. 508-996-0500. You're up next in WBSM. Good afternoon.
Hey, Barry. How you doing, Barry?
Good. How are you? Except I got a runny nose. That's
that's good. That's good. You just keep a big box of tissue.
That's
from
what I got right here.
It's cheaper over there, $1.18, I think. Yeah. But something, Barry, I want to talk about. Our political state here. In federal level and the state and the local, and even with the city council. Leo Choquette, he's not part of the swamp here in the city. And Linda Morad and some of they belong part of the swamp. So now he's speaking on the side of the people. He's getting pushback from Linda Morad because she knows that Leo Choquette's not going to just be the rubber stamp and go along like Shane Burgo. Like Chris says, he's a puppet on a string. They give him a talking points, and then he doesn't do his homework, and then he shows up. He don't even know what he's talking about. Well, about this whole thing with the YWCA.
Yeah, my biggest complaint here is that there is somebody like Linda Morad who is on the council. She was council president, and apparently she's still wielding some power. And she should not be in a position of authority at this point because she abuses the authority. She doesn't know how to handle it. It's gone to her head. And you got a counselor like Leo Choquette who is elected by the citizens. And he goes to this meeting last night on Zoom, and he's there to represent the people in his ward that attended his meeting. And he's trying to present their issues, and she didn't want to hear about it. And because they're on Zoom and instead of in person, she's able to shut him down. And I don't know why Dennis Lawrence killed his microphone. He should not have done that.
Well, he's afraid, Dennis Lawrence. He's afraid that he might lose his paycheck and lose his job.
But Linda Morad is not in a position to threaten his job.
Well, maybe right, but maybe that's why she compelled him to do it. But to get back to Leo Choquette, I mean, he's speaking on behalf of the people. So is it is it Nancy Pelosi rule? You vote for it first, and then you figure out what's in it. I mean, because that's what it seems like over there. You got a mayor that's going to establish another position, another administrative position to take care of policy or whatever, and technology.
The Chief Innovation and Policy Development Director.
Yeah, right. And for anywhere between 95 to 150,000, depends if they have to fly him on a private jet, Learjet, to come in and take the job. But they're out of touch. And I mean, at the federal level, they're out of touch. They don't listen to us, the American people and the state. And now in the city. The city's going down in a handbasket.
Well, didn't they just raise taxes again because they needed money to pay the bills?
I mean, in the state?
The city. Didn't
they
did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so where are they getting money then to, and last I heard, New Bedford still misses its minimum net school spending requirements. So where all of a sudden they got money to go out and hire a new position? I don't know if you heard in the first hour. I had talked to Ian Abreu, the city councilor, and I asked him, do you guys know about this? Did you approve this the creation of this position? And he said no. And he said any new department head has to be approved by the council. And he said this sounds like an entirely new department, so this would be a new department head. It would have to come before the council, and we would have to vote on a salary structure. He said, but the mayor's not presented us with this, and it's not in the budget.
You know what it is, Barry? He's going to pull, the card out of his suit pocket, which is the supplemental. He'll wait till the last minute, drop the supplemental, and try to get it, and then it's going to go on to the next year towards the debts of the following year and of the annual.
But that's the funding of it. But that's the funding of it. What Abreu says, if Abreu says this sounds like a new department. He said, I'm guessing because we haven't been presented with this yet. So, but it sounds like a new department head. This guy's going to be head of a new department head. That requires council approval. And it's not just the funding, but the establishment of the position. The creation of the position requires a council vote, and the council has to determine how much this person gets paid. And he said that hasn't been presented to us yet.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a new position. We can't afford it. According to the mayor, we don't have enough people to fill the potholes. But yeah, we got all these administrators making six figures or close to it. And, Linda Morris saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to hand out a sheet here with all the talking points. This is what I take from what these people coming in from the NGOs. So read it over and then vote on it. I mean, this is what it sounds like. And then when Leo Choquette speaks and tells her she's out of line, she frantically tells him, shut him off. We can't listen to him.
Yeah, he has no. Who is he? He doesn't have any right to speak. I mean, he was only elected by the taxpayers and the voters. But Linda Morad needs to get her butt off of Zoom and get it into city council chambers. I know she hates to go there because she feels she's better than some of the folks that show up there. But she needs to get back into council chambers and hold these meetings. And shame on the other 10 city councilors who did not, or 9 other city councilors who did not rise in defense of Leo Choquette last night. They should have issued a protest to Linda Morad shutting off Choquette, and they should have objected to it, and they didn't. And I hope tonight we hear some councilors with enough nerve to stand up to Linda Morad and say that was wrong, that Leo Choquette deserves to be heard. Leo Choquette will be able to speak tonight because Morad will not be chairing the meeting. This is a meeting that will be chaired by the council president, Naomi Carney, and hopefully Councilor Carney will allow Leo Choquette to be heard on this issue. Thank you, my friend. I got to hold you there. I got to hit the break, and we're coming. 2:49 on a Thursday afternoon, 508-996-0500. Thanks for hanging on. You're up next to WBSM.
Hi, Barry.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I just wanted to mention something. You were talking with the last call about this new position that's being created.
Yes.
I listened to the mayor. I don't know why. I don't live in New Bedford, but anyway, the key thing was, and they ought to hold his feet to the fire, is he said, quote, you can play the tape back, this position will pay for itself.
Okay.
How many times have you heard that before?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But I'm saying to you, they ought to hold his feet to the fire. There's no history of this, so it's a brand new position. At the end of the year, they ought to say, okay, show me how it paid for itself.
Well, you know what? I mean, I'd love to be able to talk to the mayor myself about it, but so this, according to his press release, this new position to facilitate innovation and improvement, drive improvement in the delivery of municipal services, build and grow innovation capabilities, and champion innovation. I thought that was the job description of the mayor.
It is.
So what's he going to be doing while the new guy is going to be doing this?
That's my question. I agree with you 100%. But I'm telling you, if I was a New Bedford taxpayer, I would hold his feet to the fire at the end of the year. I'd say, okay, show me whatever you paid this guy. You show me how it paid for itself. See what he says.
Yeah. Well, they'll make arguments. Well, I don't even, to be perfectly honest with you, this uses so much gobbledygook in its explanation of what the job is going to be and why it's needed. I have no clue what this guy's actually going to do.
Well, that's what a bureaucracy does.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
Hang in there.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. No, I mean, the description here uses words like best practices, all of that kind of crap, running up the flagpole, all of those kind of, those government phrases that confuse the hell out of you so you don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, this guy's going to explore best practices in other cities. No, I want somebody who's going to explore worst practices. Come on. We don't want somebody who's going to explore best practices. What the hell is a best practice? That's political gobbledygook. We're going to spend $100,000 a year for somebody who's going to explore best practices. Well, that's what we hired the mayor to do. I didn't realize that's why. And the mayor's got a staff. He's got an entourage of people, right? What are they doing all day? What are they going to do? If the mayor's got somebody on staff who's exploring best practices, and he's dealing with my other favorite word, stakeholders. He's going to deal with the stakeholders. Where are the stakeholders in here? I know they're in here somewhere. I saw them before. We're going to deal with here we are. We're going to promote a municipal innovation agenda to city employees and stakeholders. So we're going to do best practices with our stakeholders. Political gobbledygook for, we don't know what this guy's going to do yet, but somebody we know needs a job. $10 the person who gets hired for this is either going to be transgender, I don't know, maybe Hispanic, a Hispanic transgender that's somehow or another a friend of the mayor's, right? Because that's how these kind of positions get filled. But they're going to do the best practices. You're going to manage and explore best practices in other cities and facilitate their importation to New Bedford. The way I translate that sentence is, we're going to copy what the other guys are doing. That's working. But they can't say that. I mean, it just doesn't meet the political gobbledygook. What are best practices and stakeholders and, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. When I figure it out, I'll let you know. We're back after.
She broke down and let me in. Made me see where I've been.
All right, 508-996-0500, Fleetwood Mac, and that's from the Rumors album, Never Going Back Again. 48 years ago, that album was released. Can you believe that? 48 years ago. Where were you 48 years ago? Wow. Unbelievable. All right, it is time for me to say goodbye, and we're going to come back and do it tomorrow, the Friday edition. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things going on. Supreme Court heard some testimony today about whether Trump should have immunity, or any president, for that matter, should have immunity. And to some certain degree, I think absolutely they should. They have to, in order to be able to negotiate behind the scenes and get things done that are important. Also, the Trump trial is resuming this afternoon in New York, as crazy as that is. And, of course, the hateful anti-Semitic rallies going on all across the country at our Ivy League schools, including here in Massachusetts. So we'll have more on all of this.